Lie to tell me, lie to tell me.
All right, folks, this is Steve Grumbine. I am with Real Progressives, and this is just a quick rant that I'm going to do because I've gotten so tired of having to fend off common sense, fend off just basic things that should be should be obvious by now. For years now, we have been fighting alongside with various third parties, up-and-coming third parties. We've been literally supporting them, going and showing up to events, advancing their cause, trying to be a part of, this thing that brings about the duopolies and to make sure that there are new voices, that there is more inclusion, etc. But we're sitting here and we're what, a year and a half, almost 2 years out from having an opportunity to fight against what is obviously clearly fascism in Donald Trump, and we have another form of corporatism/fascism in the establishment Democratic Party, and then we have Bernie Sanders, who, whether these people like him or not, you got this guy who is literally sitting there trying to take the exact same freaking exact platform that we all fought for, from expanding Social Security to Medicare for all, to friggin' infrastructure, to, you name it, job guarantee, getting rid of student debt, canceling student debt, okay? Every step along the way, the things that we have said, a Green New Deal. We have said this stuff from day one. Now all of a sudden, here we are, and we realize, and folks, listen, I have been around this third-party stuff long enough to know that there's not a prayer in hell right now for a third party to get elected president. It's just not going to happen. We got to have local candidates elected. We have zero, folks, count it up, zero congressmen, zero senators. I don't think we have any governors. Folks, there is a dearth of third-party representation throughout the entire government. Now, it is absolutely ridiculous at this point, given the circumstances and the terrain, etc., that we live in. It is absolutely ludicrous to think that somehow or another joining up with a third party that can't even figure out what it is. Now, think about this for a minute. There are people that are advocating in the Green Party for Jesse the Body Ventura. Jesse the Body Ventura, a libertarian that doesn't want to spend, that believes the Federal Reserve is some crazy, octopus, etc., that owns the U.S. and it's owned by the Jews and everything else. This is a guy who doesn't believe in public spending, but yet they're going to support him. Now, how in the world does Bernie Sanders leave whatever it is that he's doing, suddenly join forces with these guys over here who are just freaking full metal stupid and crazy? Jesse the Body Ventura, are you fucking with me? So they're going to try and say he should have... Guys, right, wrong, or indifferent, the old man is sitting there running for president again. And he did the only thing that he could do within the short frame of time that he's got to gain power, to push the agenda, which he's done masterfully, by the way. He ain't perfect, but every single person you throw up there and try and say, well, what about them? What about this guy? What about that? Wonky as crap, coming up with cute ideas that have no momentum at all. Me Constipated has more momentum going out than these candidates you throw at me. That's no joke. I could sit there and be completely dehydrated trying to push, and that's the amount of momentum these people have. It's about a movement. It's not about a political party. It's not about a candidate. It's about a movement. And the movement is clearly behind Bernie Sanders. Right, wrong, or indifferent. So the best you and your autistic children, the best you and your elderly parents, the best you and your minority situations that are horrific can expect at this point, if you want anything real and meaningful to happen. The best we have right now is Bernie Sanders, period. And running around going, imperialist, capitalist, racist, we're going to burn it down, I'm not doing anything, blah, 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 blah. I'm telling you right now, you go do your thing. You do you. But I've got children, and I'm not doing that shit to them. I care too much about them. I love them. I love them. And so today matters. Tomorrow matters. 5 weeks from now matters. A year matters. I don't have 20 years to throw away so that we can feel edgy enough to support some wonky candidate that wants to bring back greenbacks or wants to end the fractional reserve system that doesn't exist and hasn't existed since 1934. We don't have time to do that. We have 12 years, actually it's 11 now, if you're doing the math, to not just come up with a good idea, but to actually address the carbon in our atmosphere, to address the IPCC report that talks about cataclysmic climate change. Now, I know that it feels good to get angry. I remember as a small child, I used to sit there and punch my pillow. I remember I used to scream and yell and kick the wall. I get sent to my room for misbehaving. There's no problem with being angry. God damn it, I'm angry. I want change yesterday. But it's not going to happen by just being nasty and angry and putting down everybody else that's trying to fight for a New Deal. If that's your idea of revolution, count me out, man. I got too many people I care and love. I'm not going to sit there and screw them over so you can feel good about my decisions. Just not going to do it. I want to make a difference. I don't want to harm children. I don't want to put people that are in very, very bad situations, that are living less than paycheck to paycheck. I don't want to put them in an even worse situation. You want to talk about privilege? That's privilege. And listen, I'm coming from a guy that has been long-term unemployed. I have suffered mightily through this shit. So I'm not talking from some privileged position. If you want to do something different, I'm not here to police you. I'm not here to tone police you. I'm not even here to tell you that you're wrong. I'm here to tell you that I'm not going that route. I'm here to tell you that I'm fighting for today. Today matters as much as tomorrow and the next day. And if you feel like just setting it on fire, burning it down, is good for my child, well, we got a difference of opinion now. If you can look me in the eye and say, my child, my 3-year-old autistic son is going to be better burning the whole world down and screwing a Green New Deal and running off and yelling and calling everybody capitalist, imperialist, and blah, 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 blah. If you think that helps my child, boy, do we have a difference of opinion. Boy, do we have a difference of opinion. Probably a difference of education level, too. Definitely a difference in education level, because there's no way that you're going to tell me to look at my kid and say that that's the strategy for making his life better. Do you know that right now there has been at least an 8-month waiting period? It's looking like it's going to turn into a year before my son is eligible. And that's not eligible. He's eligible yet. He's been eligible. Before they'll have the funding. No, not even the funding. Before they'll have the qualified person to fill a role because they're paying them peanuts for this TSS thing, for autism. These are fights that are happening today. And why you get edgy and why you go ahead and want to burn it down, I'm telling you right now, I'm the one that stays up all night with this kid. I'm the one that has to get him care. I'm the one that has to feed him. I'm the one that has to provide shelter. And I'm going to do what's right for him and my other children. And just know that I don't feel burning it down is good for my children. And what does a mama bear or a papa bear do when he sees people doing things that are bad to his children? You get the picture? You picking up what I'm putting down? Folks, we got a short window. I'm all about building power outside the duopoly. I'm not even supporting the DNC. This is not a matter of supporting the DNC. This is a matter of supporting the movement, and the movement is behind Bernie Sanders. That's it. You know, they're already floating the idea of Joe Biden and Mitt Romney running on a unity ticket. It was in Politico the other day. You want to talk about radical centrism, radical third way, neoliberal centrism? There you go. That's freaking evil. But playing the game and trying to maintain some power as you go into the end, as you've worked, you went from having 12 people at your rally to suddenly selling out everywhere you go. You think for a minute that you give that power up when you have an opportunity to radically change the way things are? I think you're tripping. I think you're tripping. I think you're slipping. I think, more importantly, having sat down with third parties, having sat down with people trying to build third parties, having watched the factioning that goes on, the sectarian fighting, the tribalism, which is a taboo word, but that's exactly what you see. People going off into Camp A, Camp B, Camp C, and none of them willing to work together. Egos, hubris, you name it. Pulling apart every bit of it. I don't have time for it. Neither do you. Now, we can do that on the side. We can continue working that stuff out. But damn it, there's a real battle right here, right now. And that's where I'm at. I'm in the movement. And that's where I'm staying. For 10 years, I have fought tooth and nail to bring modern monetary theory to the forefront. Now, mind you, I'm just one dude. But I'm watching the academics who are constantly taking bullets, but they're out there fighting, gloves off, with the orthodox economists. They're making headway. We got politicians now finally talking about it. Everywhere finally talking about it. And now coolios want to sit there and talk about burning it down? Really? Grow up, Peter Pan, Count Chocula. I'm serious. If you think for a minute that this is the way it should be, I got news for you. There may be a time, and maybe that's where you're at. But you're not bringing home a New Deal that way. You're not bringing home political clout. You're not making inroads with the many, 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 many millions of people that are fast asleep, zombified before their MSM, that are going to vote blue no matter who, that are going to do whatever it is they do, that are not worried about, and they do not pay attention to alternative media, and they do not pay attention to activists, and they do not care about your issue. They want it as simple as possible. They want as little change as possible. And they just want to keep on getting up every day, going to work, doing the routine they've always done, packing their lunch, folding up the brown paper bag exactly with 3 folds. They want their friggin' napkin with the "I love you, honey" written on it. They want their ho-ho and Twinkie. They want their ham and cheese with the mayo on the side in the bag. And they want their small can of Coke in there too. That's what they want, and they want it every single day. They want their same parking space that they're used to going to. They want to go to the local bar where everybody knows their name, and they don't want to think about politics. That's the average person. There's momentum. I'm sticking with it. So I'm sorry if burning it down seems like the only right answer here. But having been at this for a while and watching, I know there's no time like the present, and we got to get on it. You do what you got to do. I'm going to do what I got to do. And in the meantime, I'm fighting for a New Deal. Have a good day, everybody.